All right, y'all. Welcome back to Correctional Officer Stories with Steve, my COS squad. I'm back. Sorry I left you guys hanging yesterday. Had some things to do. I ended up having, well, you know what? I'm not even going to say what I'm doing. If it comes through, I will announce it. I don't know yet. It's a possibility. It's another opportunity, but we'll see. So keep praying for me because it might come through. Anyway, thanks again to all my new subscribers, all my subscribers that have been with me from day one, and the ones that continue to come in. Keep hitting that, smash that like button, keep sending that positivity. And I'm telling you, as soon as we get to that 1K mark, I'm almost at 400. That's big for me. Once we get to that 1K mark, we're going to go live, and you can ask me whatever you want. Whatever you want, I'll try to answer it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to hide. But today I'm going to talk about when I transitioned from Lewis male facility into female facility. Now remember, I've talked about in my previous videos, when you work at a male facility, your adrenaline is always up. Your adrenaline's always pumping. There's always something going on. It's just, you're just tense. And I worked in the max custody facility, so I was always tense. I was always doing something. I was always moving. If it was an off day for rec and showers, because they showered Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If it was a Tuesday, Thursday, usually we had a medical line going, so the whole building had to be cleared out. There couldn't be any movement, and I would take my inmates into medical. In bellies and legs, they had to be cuffed up coming out of the cell. They'd see the nurse. I'd take them back because they got to get what they got coming, and I was a big believer in that. So whether it was disciplinary, whatever it was, I gave them what they had coming. So when I transitioned into the female facility, for about the first 2 weeks, they put me at complex. So I was doing like perimeter, driving a truck around, and I was just bored as hell. You have a shotgun and you're just manning the perimeter from all the way around. There's 2 trucks, so I would take one side, the other truck would take the other side, and then we'd go across the street to the prison across the street, circle that, just make sure nobody was trying to get out, trying to climb the gate, nothing crazy was going on. Or fence. They're not going to freaking climb that fence. There's razor wire everywhere, and they got to get back there first. That ain't going to happen. So we had a complex detention unit, and I told my lieutenant, I'm like, hey, I've got experience in detention. Like, Max, let me work that. Like, let me go back. That's what I know. Like, let me do that. And he thought about it. And there was a guy down in detention that wanted to come out. He had been down there for a while. He was ready to come out and just come back to the regular shift and work different posts. I knew that if I got that position, that would be where I was every day. I knew I wasn't going to be working a different post or be bored as hell on the freaking perimeter. I was working swing shift at the time. I was trying not to freaking fall asleep. It was boring as hell out there. Boring as hell. Anyway, so finally, my dudes came about, let's say, I think I was about 3 to 4 weeks in, about a month. He calls me up to the yard office. I happen to be posted down there. I'm working down there. We were wrecking, because it's pretty much the same for them, only it's a detention unit for the females. But they still get to shower. It's just way smaller. There was only like, I don't know, I think 24 cells total. I can't remember how many were down there. There weren't that many. There was an A run and a B run. And it might have been swapped. I just don't remember. Tiny. So I came up to the office. My lieutenant's like, hey, sign here. We're going to just put you down there permanently. I'm like, cool. The next day, I'm working, right? And remember, I still got that male mentality. This female's just on the door, just boom, boom, boom. And I was so used to that from the male facility that they used to fucking bang on them doors all day long, kick them. So if it was somebody that I had issues with and they were just doing it for no reason, I'd go back and use my boot and kick back. Boom, boom. And, we'd get crazy. Sometimes, it turned into that cell getting popped. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't play no games. So, and we left it. It was what it is. We went on. Like, there was no kite dropping, no nothing on the inmate side or the officer side. So I started doing that to the female, and she wasn't letting up. She was just boom, boom, and she kept saying, "There's a freaking monster inside me. He's gonna eat me. I hate you." She was just going crazy, right? And I'm just killing that door, blah, 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 and she's banging on it, and then she starts boom, boom. She's crushing her head on there. And then I'm like, I got my vest on. I go to have keys on me. I'm opening that cell, right? And I hear from the control room, they're on the radio. No, don't do it. What are you doing? I was so hyped up. I'm getting ready to go in that cell. She's unrestrained, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably just gonna rip her out of there. She was just, because I was my adrenaline was pumping, and I was used to a male facility. Completely forgot where the hell I was. Not that it's right in a male facility, but female inmates are completely different. The mentality and the emotional part of it, it's just different. And you're not going to go in on a fucking female as a male. You're just not. But I just had forgot. And for an instant, I went into crazy mode. I went into, I'm in a male prison mode. I was about to rip her out of there. Who knows? I didn't even think about spraying her because I didn't really never use my spray unless it was a fight and they were both in the cell. I had no choice. I only used my spray when I really, really had to. So the officer in the control room was like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Just let her kick the cell. She's harming herself. Then we'll do something about it. And she was, because she was smashing her head. But I just lost it. Well, that was like a wake-up call for me to really know that you have to handle female inmates differently. Like, I couldn't go in on them. I couldn't pop that cell door and go in there. It just wasn't happening like that. We ended up taking her out of there, coddling her, and I just wasn't a part of it. Like, and that inmate wasn't no punk. Like, she was a crazy ass inmate. She was freaking crazy. Like, but she ended up having to go on watch, and she left. At that time, if you were going to go on watch, you had to go out to another yard. Now that detention unit it's a watch unit. But she ended up leaving, and I ended up, the officer who I became pretty good friends with, she was telling me, she's like, "Man, remember, you're not at a male facility. We don't have to do that here. We don't go hands on. We just if they're gonna be harming themselves, pull them out and send them on watch or whatever we need to do. But remember, tone down a little bit, because this ain't a male facility. Like, two different ball games, two different beasts. It's not the same. Females are different." And I'm thinking, well, she was blasting the door back, but it was so much different, because same instant happened a few more times. We didn't really have nothing go on down there in that frickin'. I never sprayed somebody, not one time. We'd have females blasting the door, "I want my property, I want this, where's the books at?" Because we gave them books that night, like a damn library. We'd roll a cart with books around. And I'd go down there and be like, "Stop banging on that fucking door!" And that was it. That's all I had to do. That was it. You tell a male that, they're like, "Pop this fucking cell, yo, let's do this." You want what? Talking to me like that? But that's all it was. Like, and that's probably all I would have needed to do to her. She might have banged a little bit longer, but she would have realized, like, oh shit. So it's just different. You know what I'm saying? So as an officer, that's why I always say, start in a male facility, get the gist of really what goes on, get to know the gangs that are in the facility. There's a lot of different ones. You got the AB, you got the Nazi lowriders, you got the new MA, the old MA, the Mau Mau's now coming back. You got the Warrior Society, which are the Chiefs. I don't even think the Denays are around anymore. I don't know. I'm missing some. Nazi lowriders, I don't know if I said that. My interaction was mostly with the AB yard, and I know I'm getting off topic here, and I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to touch on all the different types of gangs in the prison facility. But my interaction was mostly with the ABs out at Lewis at a particular unit I was on, and I'm sure I've named that unit before. So go check out some of my other videos. But I had a lot of interaction. We had the STGs, the step down program, which they were basically STGs. They weren't validated, but they were the real thing. Like, we had one of the most well-known whites on our yard, Well, a couple of them. There was a couple, but really all the different game. We had a lot of the heads on our yard at that time, so it was actually a pretty good yard. It was pretty squared away. If you didn't disrespect them, they wouldn't disrespect you. You could go to them. We had the step downs that they were all of them. All the different races worked in the back in ACI. They did a lot of maintenance for us. They did a lot of work. I mean, these guys can work. Like, just because they're wearing orange or whatever color the freaking your prison out here in AZ, it's orange. They'll work. Like, they'll do what you ask them to do. It's just, it's respectful. But getting away from that, getting back on the topic of transitioning from a male facility to female, something, if you still have that adrenaline pumping, which you will, you're going to have to remember where you're at. It's completely different. Not to say that shit's not going to go down and things aren't going to happen and you have a chance of maybe getting stabbed or sliced with the razor, but you're not going to have all the dope and the cell phones and the fucking fights. Like, you're going to have some fights, but it's nothing like, you just have to experience it for yourself. And if you're watching my channel, some of you guys are getting ready to go into corrections. So shoot me some messages, comment down below what you want to see, some more things you want to hear from me related to corrections, whether it's about inmates or officers or whatever you want to hear. And I'll keep kicking content out. Thank you for continually to rock with me. I'm going to continue to bring content. I'm going to have a busy weekend, so I don't know if I'll be able to get anything out. I'm trying to do another interview, so I'm not going to, you'll just have to keep watching. Hopefully it's going to happen. I'm trying to do a couple here, so I'm just trying to get my message out there, and hopefully I get the opportunity. We'll see. So keep rocking with me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share. Thanks.